As we get closer to the day that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Dragon Ball Daima are both launched, we get more information on both, sneak peeks, rumors, leaks, things like that. But today we actually got something a little bit different. We got a full interview with the producer of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, where he gives us a ton of information about the game and gives us a little bit of insight into the background of the game, what goes on behind the scenes. These are all very interesting things that I usually like to take note in, especially when I'm excited about a brand new project, just like Sparking Zero and Daima. So I've been hearing the buzz around this interview from Gamescom going around all day today, so I decided let's go ahead and together look at this interview and see exactly what secrets still lay ahead of us when it comes to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
I'm so excited!
So now that we essentially have the entire roster released for Sparking Zero, besides a few out there that we don't know yet, let me know in the comment section below which character are you going to main when the game finally drops, because I am going to be on those servers, and something tells me those servers are probably going to crash with the weight of how many people are going to be playing. So let me know in the comment section below, and let's get to the first question.
そうですね。たくさんのお客様からこの武道会展開シリーズに関して応援をされている応援の声をいただいているのは我々としてもすごい知っていましたし、すごいありがたいことだなというふうに思っていました。ただですね、この17年前の時点でですね、スパーキングメテオ武道会展開地3の時点でですね、我々としてはシリーズとして一つ完成を迎えていたと思っています。でさらにそこからドラゴンボールの他のシリーズのゲームが控えていたこともあったりして、結果として少し長い時間息を進める形になったんですけれども、昨今プラットフォームだったりとか技術の進歩があり、より当時からしたらですね、もう一段深い体験というか、武道会展開するよりもさらに新しい感動をお客様に届けられると考えまして、このタイミングで新作を作ろうということに至りました。
What incentivized them to create Sparking Zero? I mean, this could have been a quick answer. Yeah, piles and mountains of this. Because, I mean, let's keep it 100. They are not doing this for charity. They're making a game knowing it's going to break bank. It's going to break numbers. It's probably going to set records. And I mean, the amount of money that this game is going to be bringing in is going to be astronomical. Like, they are going to be rolling in the Benjamins. Goku has not looked this fresh since the episode where he was wearing the suit that one time. Or I guess twice. But he's going to be balling. Goku's going to be balling after this game releases. I understand what he's talking about. I mean, there are a lot of games that have come out after Tenkaichi, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 released, but none of them are like Budokai. And that's, I mean, again, that's a good thing. They are all their own identity, but they're not the same thing. I think the closest that we've gotten to an experience that's very similar to Budokai Tenkaichi is the Fighters games, and with that, still no, because that's completely different type of style of combat. But the finishers, things like that, those kind of are like Tenkaichi, but everything else like Xenoverse and Kakarot, like those things, those games are nothing like Tenkaichi whatsoever. And so it has been a very long time since we've gotten something of this magnitude, something as great as this.
そうですね、今作は武道会展開地シリーズをしっかりと受け継ぐ作品として今作らせていただいていまして、シリーズの作品として作らせていただいています。スパーキングゼロという名前なんですけれども、日本ではもともと武道会展開地3はスパーキングメテオという名前で出ていたものになっておりまして、それと同じシリーズ作品として作っているものになります。なので我々としてはすごいですね、やっぱりシリーズであるがゆえにかなりお客様方からすると、昔遊んでいたいい体験っていうのを思い出としてはやっぱり持っていただいていると思うので、その思い出っていうのをですね、今作触った時にこれだよねというふうに思っていただけるように、しっかりとなんでしょう、シリーズ作品だと分かるような形でプレイいただけるように、バトルシステムとかはすごい正当進化というか、過去のものをベースとして踏襲するように作らせていただいていますし、そこにさらに 新たな要素を加えてより深い体験をしていただくっていうところに我々としてはフォーカスして作らせていただいています。
I gotta tell you, so far I'm disappointed with these questions. That second question in particular is basically the first question, and I'll give you the exact same answer. Would have been quicker. This, piles and mountains of this. This is the reason that they made this game. And then he just talks about how it's kind of be very similar to, Tenkaichi with a little bit of zest to it. I understand 110%. It is interesting to see that they decided to kind of shelve Tenkaichi, at least in the name, and just went with sparking because it wasn't a finite thing in Japan when they were naming the game Sparking, and the last one was Sparking Meteor. So you can kind of continue with that trend, while Tenkaichi 4, it doesn't roll off the tongue as easy, or it's not as cohesive with its Japanese counterpart, and I could see why they decided to just keep everything the same, making it simpler.
そうですね、進化したポイントとしましては、やはりこのリアルタイムで例えば悟空たちのこの超パワーを体験できるような、そういったパワーアップを遂げているところにはまず大きなところとしてはございます。やはりその我々としてはドラゴンボールのキャラクターになりきる体験っていうのを、お客さんに楽しんでいただきたくてすごい力を注いでいるんですけれども、例えば悟空が気をためる、力をためるっていうアクションをしただけでも、例えば草木が揺れたりだとか、もう天気が変わったりだとか、そういうことをそのバトルのリアルタイムの中で起こすようなものの、実装させていただいたりですとか、それこそ必殺技カメハメハを打つ、相手を吹っ飛ばすっていうので岩だったりビルとかが壊れながら、すごいダイナミックに壊れながら本当に超パワーを体験できるような、そういったリアルタイムのグラフィック表現みたいなものをですね取り入れさせていただいて、以降より深い挑戦士へのなりきり体験というのをお届けできるようにしています。でさらに今のリアルタイムの表現に加えまして、よりドラゴンボールらしいアクションを楽しんでいただくにはどうしたらよいかというのを考えまして、例えばその瞬間的にその場から一瞬で相手に近寄って攻撃するバニシングアサルトという新しいシステムだったりだとか、自分が攻撃を食らいながらもその場で反撃を仕掛けることができるような、その原作であったリアルタイムで高速で起こる攻防を実現するためのリベンジカウンターというシステムだったりとか、よりそういう新しいアクションを追加することでよりドラゴンボールらしいバトルをリアルタイムで自分の手で生み出せるような、そういったバトルシステムの進化というのも今回遂げているような形になります。
So this is finally something that is interesting with his answers, and he's giving us a little bit more information that kind of connects to exactly what we've seen even from the character select menu, is the immersion. They are literally trying to immerse you into the Sparking Zero experience. To be honest, I am surprised that this game, as far as I know, is not on VR, because just the amount of immersion that you get in the game, it would fit so well in the VR realm. We saw in the loading screens that they are you choose your map first, then you choose the character that is going to be fighting in that arena, and as you're choosing them, they're already standing on the map essentially while you're going through your character select. So things like that are extremely immersive, and what he's saying with the weather changes and just the dynamic relationship the characters kind of have with their environment, making it closer and more connectivity. Yeah, that is something that Budokai Tenkaichi really didn't have. Now, we did have buildings getting destroyed, and we did have, explosions, the planet would get destroyed. Like, we had that in Budokai 3, but yeah, we didn't have like weather changes to that severity of a way or anything like that when it came to the fights. I think that is a great addition to Sparking Zero.
そうですね、エピソードバトル一部すでに発表させていただいている映像の中とかでは、こう選択肢を表示して、どちらを選んで、それによって物語が少し変わってバトルが少し変わってということもあったりすると思うんですけれども、当然そのような形で選択肢で少しバトルが変わるようなものっていうのは一部あったりします。でそれに加えまして、実はその選択だけではなくて、例えば原作では苦戦してなかなか勝てなかった相手に例えば勝つことができたっていう際に、新しい次のバトルの展開みたいなものが用意されていたりもするので、その選択肢でちょっとした、if の物語、ちょっと違った物語に体験できるものもあれば、そのバトル自体、プレイヤーさんの技術次第で新しい道を切り開くことができる場面というのも一部あったりするので、そういった形で、このエピソードバトルというのはそのキャラクターの気持ちになりきって、どう選択をするのか、どう戦うのかみたいなことを いろいろと試していただきたいなというふうに思っています。ただ1個だけ付け加えさせていただくと、一応このエピソードバトル自体は、原作に合ったシチュエーションのバトルを体験できるものっていうものが基本にありますので、どちらかというと IF ストーリー、その IF のそのオリジナルの展開っていうのは、それほど一部のステージに限られているっていうところは一応補足をさせていただきます。
Okay, so I don't know if you guys already knew this. Maybe some of you did who are really following Sparking Zero. You guys know that on my channel, I like to cover everything. Sparking Zero is one of those things I cover, but I had no idea that we were able to choose our own path, like choose our own story, multiple choice style. Like I did not think that there were going to be battles where you could choose whether you did this, whether you did that, and so I guess maybe I'm thinking of when they announced that there would be what if battles, but I assumed that when they were saying what if battles, it was talking about, you know, scenarios already created. Like, what if Vegeta went Super Saiyan 3? I literally talked about that yesterday in my Daima video. Like, something like that that's already pre-made, we can go down that preset path. But if you're just in the middle of the story, that you, like the Dragon Ball story, and then you get to choose whether you know, give Cell a Sensu Bean or something, or, you know, if you decide to kill, if Krillin decides to kill Vegeta after his failed invasion of Earth, then that's a completely different story. That's choose your own path, multiple choice. That is, that's going to be far more entertaining and more interesting, because then you get to choose exactly what your outcome could be eventually, and it just makes that's something we've never had. So it just makes the story mode a lot more interesting. Now, he did say he wanted to clarify that it's not going to happen all the time, which I understand. It would make sense that it's not constant, because, I mean, they'd have to write so many different stories, which they, I mean, again, they probably should. But if they have these, like, what if scenarios that you get to choose kind of the what if, that sounds like fun. That sounds, that's definitely breaking news if he's just announcing that here, because I feel like I've not heard that. I've heard the what if stories, but again, I thought they were already pre-made what ifs, not you get to make the what if.
そうですね、今回作っていただけるのは、例えばそのシーンのキャラクターの配置だったりとか、カメラワークだったりとか、キャラクターのポーズだったりとか、表情だったりとか、そういったものをお客様の中で変えていただくことができます。その変え方としては選択肢が基本的にはありまして、多いものだと例えばキャラクターの配置だったりすると数十個キャラクターの配置みたいなものもありますし、表情とかも何十種類かあるというものになりますので、そういった選択肢の中から選んでいただいて、組み合わせてシーンを作り上げていただくというような仕様になります。さらにですね、一応シーンを作った際に字幕をつけることができます。テキストで字幕をつけることができるんですけれども、そちらは、5000ほどあるベースのテキストが用意されていまして、その中からまず選んでいただくような形になります。で加えて一部の名詞、そのキャラクターの名前だったりとか、悟空とかベジータみたいなキャラクターの名前とかを、他のキャラクターの名前に置き換えて、そこでちょっとした会話を成立させるような形でシーンを作っていただくような、そういった形になります。
That is amazing. And you, my friend, are a true hero.
This is the one feature that is going to basically ensure that this game lives on forever. That this game has at least a very similar type of lifespan to Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2. I would say Xenoverse 2 more, because if you can create your own what ifs, custom matches, custom battles, custom dialogue, custom facial expressions, and with 5,000 different types of lines that you can use, also changing names in the lines, and make your own little scenario movies, people will be making their own movies, fight scenes, levels, interactions, all sorts of stuff. I'm sure that there's limitations, but if they have not thought those limitations through, or at least certain words that shouldn't be said, we're probably going to get a lot of unhinged Dragon Ball what if custom battle type of scenarios early on before they patch it. I could also see them giving us way more in terms of choices and dialogue, and maybe places you can be, things like that, as additional content I would say free more than likely. I don't see them asking or charging for any of this stuff since already in the game. All they have to do is keep updating the game. And they want Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, probably similar to Dokkan Legends and Xenoverse, to have a very, very long shelf life. And with this type of feature, it absolutely will.
そうですね、僕はやっぱり一番大事にしているのはこのキャラクターにこうなりきれるという部分を我々としてはすごい大事にしているつもりで作っています。なので先ほど説明させていただいたようなリアルタイムでの変化だったりとか、本当にスーパー選手の超パワーを体験できる仕組みっていうのももちろんですし、それに加えまして、キャラクターごとにそれぞれ必殺技だったりだとかアクションが用意されていますし、それこそ細かいところでいうとこのパンチキックのようなそのアクションの中でも少し動きが違ったりだとかキャラクターらしい動きになっていたりですとか、そういったところまでですね力を入れて作っておりますので、そういった細かいキャラクターごとの特徴個性みたいなものをぜひそのゲームの中で感じていただけると我々としては嬉しいなと思っています。
So I do like how he ended that off, because being immersed totally into the game at the same time, basically writing your own story and having everything be customizable and just essentially, I mean, you've seen the gameplay using those powers, using the powers that you have. It's just such a interesting and unique experience that no other Dragon Ball game really gives you, not even Fighters. So I'm really happy to see that he's putting a lot of heart and soul. You can tell this guy he definitely grew up with Dragon Ball and probably played the shit of Xenoverse before and all the other fighting games. And he's just a huge hardcore fan, and that's what you need for certain projects. You need people that are actually active fanboys, just super mega fans when it comes to any project, not just Sparking Zero. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on the interview itself. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.